Hey, so do just a quick tutorial, at least teach one of the poses that I really like, and that's Pigeon. Uh, Ekapada Kapotasana in Sanskrit. But yeah, so there's a couple different ways to get into the posture, and it's a great place to settle down for a while. They incorporated in a lot of the in classes, not pretty much most all classes I participate or teach, or private sessions. I like to include Pigeon. It's just a really nice pose to ground and sort of finish when you're a little bit more open. There's a couple ways to get into it, but my favorite way is from downward facing dog. So I'll just demonstrate from the neutral down dog. If you're going to start, I like to start on the right leg. So sweeping the right leg high in the square hips. You're going to bring the right knee behind the right wrist, but I don't want you to land the knee first. I'd like you to try to land the foot first, and then bring the knee down. And most people need to have the ankle back a little bit. It's just if you're more open, so you'll be able to come forward. But even if you're not, try to bring the foot forward first instead of the knee, because the tendency will be to bring the knee up here, and then you have to work to try to get the foot up, and it's a little awkward. So when you're coming forward, focus on bringing the foot up and then bringing the knee down and the back leg, and stay high for a moment. Square off the hips, the chest towards the front of the mat. Make sure your back leg is straight, the toes are pointed straight back, and then you should be able to even come up to where you don't need the hands, so you have a nice stable foundation here. And then once you're here, you can kind of play with the shin and optimally and be parallel with the front of the mat. It's okay if it's not. We're all different, and each side of your body is going to be different. So once you're here, you can go down onto the elbows, and then even laying down onto the chest. But what I'd like you to focus on at this point is this back leg, the extended leg. So typically the tendency is to dump the weight into the flexed knee, leg, side, in this case the right. You got to put emphasis on the left side so that you're working the opening of the hip flexor as well as in the external and piriformis muscle, basically external muscles on the hip, the glutes. So coming down here, you want to press, keep the weight evenly distributed, and kind of focus with the back shin and the back hip, working it down towards the mat. And as an instructor, teacher, I like to give a really juicy assist that feels wonderful to press on this back, like this back hip right here, and kind of give them just a little bit of depth. If they're pretty far into the pose, it looks like they can handle some depth, or that they would appreciate that. That's a really nice thing to do. And sometimes I do it with myself. I'll just take my hand back here and lightly press down on that hip, and it starts to really feel good into the outside of the bent knee leg. And so come out, I like to neutralize here, and then going into the other side. So leg up, hip square, coming forward, foot leads the way, knee down, hip square, stable. This is where you could go into Raja if you were wanting to go back and grab the leg or the foot. So square, and then just slowly come down on your exhale breath and settle in, and then work the weight into the extended leg side to apply some pressure, or just mentally apply pressure to that leg. And you can stay here for minutes. You can stay here for, I like to be here about at least a minute and a half, 2 minutes, if I'm able to. Sometimes even longer is good. And then from there you could go into a more deeper hip opening, like Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose, or 90-90 it's sometimes called. You come out of that. So really simple, but Pigeon is really one of my favorite postures. Helps open in the hips, where we hold a lot of our deep-seated issues we hold down in our hips, and a lot of tension. There's a lot of muscular tension down there, and that is also the source of the root chakra, and the sense of security and grounding that we have is down there, and that area. And so, just a really quick tutorial, that's it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.